It's 148 days until the midterm elections.
It's 147 days until the midterm elections. And today is the day of the Maine primaries. And I would usually encourage my viewers in Maine to go out and vote in the primaries. But the lead candidate for the Maine Senate on the Democrat side is the guy who had the Nazi tattoo. And I'm not going to endorse that guy because he's the guy who had the Nazi tattoo. And there have been other scandals since then. They look at some of his tweets, what he has to say about rape victims, not good. Not the most faithful of guys at a certain point. So I'm not going to endorse the guy who once had a Nazi tattoo. And I think a lot of progressives are going to embarrass themselves by endorsing this guy who had the Nazi tattoo. Did he know it was a Nazi tattoo? I don't know. We know it's a Nazi tattoo, even though it's like one of the more remedial symbols of the Nazis. But once again, look, he's the guy who had the Nazi tattoo. How has he lasted this long in the competition? So I'm not going to tell my voters in Maine what to do today. Go and do it. Vote or don't vote. Vote for whoever you want, including the guy who had the Nazi tattoo. I wash my hands of the whole thing. I'm not going to endorse that guy because there's probably going to be more scandals with him anyhow. And I don't want to embarrass myself.
Well, would you look at that? The guy who once had a Nazi tattoo, right here, he just won the Democratic primary in Maine. He's going to be running for Senate against Susan Collins in 146 days, I might add. It's 146 days in the midterms. And if you watched my video yesterday, you know I'm not endorsing this guy. No siree, Bob. And I don't really have too much more to say. I'm amazed at the confidence y'all have that this guy's done with the scandals. This guy who started things out with being the guy who had the Nazi tattoo on his chest. And some other scandals have come up, and some of the stuff has been, it's true, he's admitted it. He had the tattoo. He put out those tweets. He admitted, him and his wife, they're working things out, but you're really that confident that that's going to be the last scandal we're going to get with this guy in the next 146 days? So many of you, you're that blue no matter who. I've never been a fan of that mentality. We've learned nothing from John Fetterman. And the worst part is, it's the progressive wing who's pushing this guy. The guy with the Nazi tattoo. The guy who had one, I should say. Past tense. Well, I guess, like I said, I've washed my hands of it. I'm not going to keep making video after this until the bow breaks. And then you know what I'm going to say. But until then, well, we'll just have to watch things with the guy with the Nazi tattoo from Maine and see how they turn out.
It's 145 days until the midterm elections. It's 144 days until the midterm elections. It's 143 days until the midterm elections. Happy Flag Day. It's 142 days until the midterm elections.